Hii nilituma home do. Nikaambia nieces wangu na nephew, msipotoka kwenda maandamano kupigania for better Kenya, mtu hata asionitisha hata bob. Usionitisha bob. Endeni mshindwe, at least hata nikituma do, najua natuma do juu mliko mmefight hii country, maisha ikuwe better. Bro, wezi kwa unaniambia watu wana apply passport, 1 year ijaitoka, ati printing machines zimeharibika. Na watu wanaenda ofisi daily. Kwani what have you been doing there? Now we are angry, bana. We keep on being angry. I don't know if Ruto will go or if he will not go. All we want is accountability and good governance. And we don't want to dialogue. Tunaongea nini na tuambie sisi tunataka. You know what we want. I have not much to say. I'm just so fucking mad. I'm sorry, but thank you very much, guys. Thank you.
No, don't be sorry. And please usikunywe maji. Just take a deep breath, breathe in and breathe out, and then continue being mad.
Nah, it hurts, bana. It really hurts.
No. So don't take any water, please.
Did you see what Herman used to do? And I try kwa slaves, but the others wanamstate paka kwa slave owners. And this is exactly what is happening in Kenya.
It's like we're putting
I
fire
saw that young lady Jana Eldoret talking about that to speak usitukane president wetu, usitukane president yetu, and a few days earlier she was talking about how Mutembei is such a bad person. Mimi naangalia mtu kama unashindwa, do you use your head? Ukiekelea kichwa chako hivi jioni kwa pillow, unajiambia umefanya nini siku mzima? Shame on them na watoto wao. Na mimi na show nyinyi wote mko kwa hii space. Mtu yule siku atakakuambia kupeza maragwe, usiwaimpe hata bob. Muulize kali better country, ndio sikuwa naomba. Cannot be begging your whole fucking life. What is wrong with you?
Hiyo story ya mtu wetu ndio tunataka kuua, because mtu wetu does not even feed anyone.
Kill it.
Yeah.
We kill it. There is enough money to spread in this country. Enough. And the reason why there was even devolution is because so that the government can be able to touch everybody's life. Shinda hapo ukituambia hapa akitupewa Kikuyu sijui ati Mount Kenya sijui 70. For what? For what? Wapewe kwa nini? Kwani hiyo ni akina nani? Incompetent.
Thank you, thank you.
I'm really mad. It's okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Josephine, if you're there, I give you the mic.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, you're
thank you so much. Umenilenga sana throughout the day, Yaki. Wherever I come, you didn't give me mic. And whenever you give me the mic, when I'm almost about to get there, then I get a job and I have to work. But all in all, thank you so much. Thank you, KOT, for your commitment in hosting us in this world. And I want also to say good evening to everyone, wherever you are. And those wherever they are, it's morning, good morning. We are here back in Kenya, just been from Mombasa as usual. And always and every time, I'll not stop talking about remaining focused. I have listened to very many speakers today. I had an opportunity to listen to many in this group. And I've heard so many opinions. Where am I agree. In totality, we need accountability, we need good governance, and we need good leadership. But withstanding all this, one thing I would want to say is that we cannot destroy what we have, then we expect to have something else tomorrow. Some of us, we've grown in the highest levels of poverty. And right now, as we are seeing, we've seen things are changing. And when we go in the streets there and put fire on our roads, I don't think that pothole we have created, it will cost us again to construct it and to rebuild it after we are through. Can we also take care of our own properties and our own infrastructures? Because once we destroy them, we will be going at a loss. Another thing I would want to say is that we cannot have had several people say that we need free education, we need free medical cover. We are entitled to all these things, but these things can be found by us ensuring that already the infrastructures which we have right now, they are functioning well for us, they are working well for us, which is not happening. Wherever you need an essential document, You have to wait for more than 6 months, and that's an essential document. We need to focus on these areas. We need to focus on what do we really want. We need to protect. You will agree with me that actually 97% of our country, people who are business people, they're running their businesses with big loans, which they have taken to sustain themselves and to have the businesses running. If you remember last year but one, when Raila was leading the maandamano after elections, if you remember very well, Samia Suluhu, Her Excellency President of Tanzania, she said it openly. She said, look, this is what is happening. We have received so many investors coming into our country simply because in our neighborhood, the fire is burning. And they are taking advantage of that. That's the same thing we are still doing again once we overdo what we are doing. When we start actually doing things that we are not supposed to do, a company will be deciding I'm closing down because I'm running at a loss. And that company is employing our own people. Then, by the time we are saying now, okay, we are done with the bad leadership now, President Ruto is out, and now we want to fix our country again. We do not have investors in the country, and they've left. So what are we supposed to do? First, we should be the foot soldiers to protect anyone's business. As long as we are there outside there in the street, make sure the person who is next to you is not destroying someone's business, is not destroying anyone's property. What has taken us out there is to say this is what we want, but not to see somebody just in going and destroying your fellow countrymen and fellow countrywoman property who is operating on business on a deficit because they are always paying their loans, and the loans they are servicing they don't have even conducive environment now to do the business. What am I trying to say? In this occasion, if we continue like this, in the next 2 years or so, not even 2 years, in less than a year, if we continue allowing the vandalization of businesses in our country, we will be having so many patients in the country who are suffering from high blood pressure, high blood sugars, and even stroke. Then will our country be able to manage them, to sustain them, because we have already
Wow. Is it only me? Can anybody hear Josephine? If you're on the speaker panel.
She dropped.
Yeah, we are tunamsikia.
You can hear me or you can hear her?
Like
I can't see her.
we can hear you, but her it's like she has gone off.
Josephine, give me 100 if you can see me. Okay, I think we lost our something. The space has had issues since morning. Caroline, you'll take it, and then Kevin. Kevin, actually go fast because you've had two female talk. I'm trying to balance because we need all voices heard. And I thank you all for your contributions. Monday, you have something really pressing I give you before Kevin. Monday? Unmute your mic.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you so much. I think I've been asking and I keep dropping. So for me, I really like this discussion, and thank you everyone who has been hosting these spaces. I think it's not easy. It's like work. I'm very sure there's nothing else you're doing, and that is takes a sacrifice for you to be able to do this. So what I am going to say is that I can see some people in some spaces and even here, they are trying to say that moto imeisha. I don't think it has. I think the temperature is still increasing. And having said that, is that for me, the way we are feeling, I think it's not as bad as what Ruto is feeling. I'm very sure that guy is not sleeping. So we are still on course. So, and one thing that we need to put in our minds for those people who are saying give a dialogue a chance is that we have established we are dealing with someone who is a liar and someone who is incompetent. And it is not changing. Because when even that time when you give him a chance to redeem himself, he never does it. Anasema there are no Arambes. The following day he's doing an Arambe. He says there's no extrajudicial killing. There's no brutality of the police. The second day, watu wanarushiwa gas ya pink, which is apparently is poison. So this is a person, I've even seen the spokesperson speaking nonsense, today. So this is ni mtu ni ile inaitwa sikio la kufa ambalo alisikii dawa. Alafu kuna ile unasikia nyani siku yake ya kufa ikifika miti yote inateleza. So for me that's what I'm thinking is happening, because this guy has been given so many chances by the Gen Z to redeem himself, but is doing anafanya tu vile because I'm like, what is he waiting for? Some of the things that should be done very, very immediately. What is he waiting for? He has sent his cabinet home. He has not sent his cabinet home because he's listening to you. He's sent them because they are becoming a liability to him for his political survival. That is it. Don't think he's doing it. Unajua kuna ile ushaitisha mtu kitu alafu anakupea na roho ingine mpaka you are like unasikia kumrudishia. That's how I'm feeling about Ruto. He's not giving this thing akiwa na roho safi, because I remember when he dropped the finance bill, he said, "Juu mumefanya ni drop the finance bill, I'm going to borrow trillions and trillions to run the economy." Then I'm like, this person did not even know why he let the bill go off. It's just like, mumefanya hivi pia, I'll punish you for punishing me. That's what he's speaking. So we are dealing with someone who is not in touch with reality. The fact that he can say that people are being funded by Ford Foundation is ridiculous. It means ni mtu ashikanishi rada. Me, I was like, you have a young people in your house. That man is a parent of Gen Zs and parents of millennials. Wenye wanashinda online now watoto wake, and I'm very sure they are tech savvy. He can even decide to listen to his children, because your children are not going to lie to you because you are not paying them. Oh, I don't know. Someone is doing something. Sorry. Can
No,
someone?
sorry, it's okay. Just
Okay.
go ahead. Just go ahead. I'm
Okay.
muted.
So I'm saying this is a person who is not in touch with reality, because haizi sema ni mzee sana aelewi what is going in these spaces, or aelewi the environment. Akona millennials in his house, akona Gen Zs in his house who are his own children. Your own children cannot lie to you. You should just call his sons and daughters and ask them, for real, my children, tell me the truth. Because these other people, the Dennis, the Tumbes are being paid, so they can lie to him. But his children rarely lie to their parents. So what I am saying is this: one, since Mandamano is looking like they want to interfere with Mandamano, because I hear they are
No. There's news right now, Mwende. It's just
yeah.
the court has actually suspended the order that was issued by the police. I've just seen the tweet now. They've written the court has issued a conservatory order suspending the ban on the protest in Nairobi and its surrounding areas. A directive that has been instituted by acting inspector. So it has actually been suspended because it's unconstitutional.
Yes, good. But we don't know if they are going to obey, because they were also told about how the police should treat protesters, but they still shot on protesters. So this is a government
a bad leader. I'm sorry to interrupt you. A bad leader, I'm just cooking. A bad leader will use the tools that he has, which the tools are actually ours, and we are the people. So when you're using the tools that are supposed to protect us, to harm us, then you're not our leader. Already you're speaking to us.
Hello.
Yeah. So
Diego.
So what I'm saying, that we can complement with Mandamano. Mandamano should not stop. Mandamano is the icing in the cake of this revolution. So Mandamano is our right, and it should continue. After to decide we are going to do it in outside the UN, the embassy, the JKIA, the Apple Occupy the Nyayo House, where they are suppressing the right of the Gen Zs to vote in the next elections, because you should be very open that he's trying to make sure Gen Zs don't vote. So Gen Zs who do not have IDs, they should come up in arms and get the IDs, because kupata ID, it should not take more than 30 days. So I think the fight has started. And one thing that I'm thinking we should compliment, because the LSK is on our side. LSK is supporting the Gen Zs in this and many other volunteer lawyers and legal people. One thing is that we should substitute, not stop maandamano, substitute maandamano with other legal means. For example, there is a website that has been developed in I think recall something, where you can collect signatures to recall your MP. Because one, tunataka kukatakata Ruto miguu, and most of the yes MPs can be recalled. So tukimsendia like 10 MPs home ama 20 wenye walisema yes, unajua tumemkripo miguu when he's trying to pass laws in the parliament, or in case we try to do an impeachment on him. So that is one. The second one is that people who have been brutalized by this regime, people who have been killed, cases should be now in court, trying to get people accountable. Why is this thug mwenye aliua Rex moving around? He should be in. We should be having a case now ongoing now. That guy should have been arrested by now. Those are the things. We should not give him peace. Anything that now tukitoka hapo ni Safaricom yenye ilikuwa inauza data za watu. Safaricom was the one giving government information about the whereabouts of people. Wacha hata hawa spies mnasema wako hapo ndani. Safaricom ilikuwa inapeana mpaka location yako. You know where you are. Unakujiwa hapo usiku. So Safaricom is also on our radar. Tukimaliza hii, we do have other providers that can work. We cannot work with companies that are participating in brutalizing the Kenyans. So what I'm thinking is that tuchape left, right, center. Maandamano should not only be the main one. Tunapaswa kuwa na maandamano, tuko na kesi kotini, tuko na recall zinaendelea, yani ni kuchafua. That is what we can do. Hiyo ni kuchafua, inakuwa mtu haezi lala hata kama he is not going to get out. Tumpe pressure. Unajua unaweza, Ruto is how old? I think he's 60 or going there. Hiyo pressure ni mingi, inaweza fanya mtu apate heart attack. So Gen Z, uzuri wenu mko na nguvu. You know you can even go to maandamano every day because ya hiyo nguvu. That guy cannot sustain that pressure every day yenye tunampea. So tunampea hiyo pressure kila siku. Tunapiga left, right, center. That is what we should do. So nobody should say the fire is dying. There is no fire that is dying. The fire has just started because tuko na vitu mingi zenye tunaweza mkalia gangari vibaya sana. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would kindly ask you to share that website whereby we can recall the MPs. People have been asking for it so much. Share it on the comment section and any other input that you would like the members to see. And then you go to the comment section to read some of the insights that our guys are sharing. Follow
great.
each other.
I will also add, there is another website that has some of the things, the promises that Ruto made, or the policies that he said to do from when he came into power, the date he did them, the evidence, and if it has been done. So right now we are at 3%. So it's like a list of almost 100 plus things zenye alishaisema, zingine hata ziko alisema kwa Twitter handle yake, zingine alisema kwa parliament, zingine kwa cabinet. So that guy is at 3% as we speak. Kutoa cabinet, kufanya kudrop finance bill na sijui kufanya nini. Amefanya tu vitu tatu out of all the things that have been listed there. So there is also that website that is tracking his promises. So, and there is also another website, I think I'm going to share, inaitwa amnesia.com or something. Amnesia.com is to remind you, Kenyan, if you have forgotten what your politicians are doing to you, unaenda kwa hiyo website unaangalia what your member of parliament did to you. Then you remember, fire inaamka tena. Then we need a website ya hao watu wameabductiwa, wamekufa, wale watu wamechapwa kwa polisi. Ukisikia ni kama unalegea, unaenda una open moto inaamka. So I'm going to put them here in the chat. So guys, go check if your MP recall nini yake imeshaanza. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Global, are you there? Mogusu?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, take your 3 minutes
Yes.
and try to follow
Thank you.
each other. Try to check on the comment section. There's some things that people are tagging on the comment section, and try to follow each other. The conversation continues.
Yeah. Thank you so much. First of all, I'm still mourning for the loss of the fallen soldiers, and the first thing that I would like to point out is we should not stop civic education. Let's continue educating. Do civic education wherever you are. Those people, the border people, those people who are being hired, even the policemen who are doing all these atrocities, let us explain to them the importance of what we are doing, and if possible, let's educate them on the 2010 Constitution about their rights and also what we are doing. And even our parents and people who are in the villages, please, let's continue to educate them. And also, let's not stop what we were doing from the beginning. That is, for instance, making the posters with education, you know, highlighting this corruption and highlighting how much this money which is being stolen, how much it can do, maybe like building schools. Let's educate our mothers back home in their chamas. Let's tell them that the money that the politicians give as contributions, those are money that are being stolen. So let's try to make this for them to understand in their own way, using the chamas. Let's educate even in the churches when we go to our churches with the people that we interact with them. Let's do civic education, and sometimes even we can decide maybe to come up with strategies whereby we can go to the markets. You know, we said today let's go to the Kangemi market. We just go there and we just do civic education about the constitution so that the mama mboga can really understand what's going on. So apart from the physical war that we are having, it's also important for us to change the mindset of our people. And also, these policemen, they are not, they are our brothers. So let's try to engage them. Also, let's try to educate them so that they can understand the importance of what's going on, whereby once this succeeds, all of them will also be beneficiaries of this. So let's take advantage of that, and let's ensure that everyone is on board. Don't let's not leave people outside. Please, let's educate everybody, and I believe that everyone will come on the right side and also make right decisions. When we say we deplatform the politicians, they will be able to understand. But now they cannot understand because they don't have that civic education which me and you we have already gotten. And for my instance, I have learned a lot from this past 1 month because I've been listening to different spaces. I've been listening to different knowledge from different people. So let's continue with the education, civic education. Once you get the information, please go out, explain it to that border, explain it to that Gen Z who is being hired or who is being used as goon. Let's help them to understand exactly what this is. So I believe that once we do that, we'll have a change of mindset, which is very important for this movement. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Those who have spoken kindly drop off from the speaker. And we've agreed that civic education is our first mandatory. It's actually mandatory to everyone. But the border guys are wondering why are guys going to town. So it's mandatory that that neighbor, that house girl that you're talking to there, they don't know what's going on. Educate them because we need everybody in the next election and in the coming actions. So guys, civic education starts with you. You, the knowledge, share it with everybody that is near you. So if you've spoken, kindly drop so that I can add other speakers. I don't have to remove you from the panel. I'll always circulate back after everyone is out. We have almost 56 requests. And lift up your hand so that I can see others. The space is starting to act up again. When it runs longer, then it starts acting up. Even if you find you're being dropped, it's not us. You just request again and then we'll circulate the mic. Mogusu, if you can hear me. Kenyan, if you can hear me. Carol, if you can hear me.
Hello.
Yes, you can go
I
ahead.
can hear you.
Yes, go ahead.
So I've been here like the whole day, and I hope you can hear me. And what I've heard people saying is we need to re-strategize. So like I don't know, I'm not an IT expert. Is there a way that we can do like a dark web for us to be communicating these things? Tunapata watu ghafla binvu because they're in our spaces, they're everywhere, they're on Twitter, they're on Telegram, wako moja moja. Is there a way we can encrypt a secret code for us to be communicating with each other? Tunawashtua. Because as Ismail said, no one can be trusted, not the cops, not the judiciary. Like, is there a way that we can communicate with each other? Because talking of strategizing, sorry about my English. Like, what IT, we come up with a cryptic way to communicate with each other. Wanatupata tao kama wako anajua hivyo tu. Like, is there a way?
Anybody in IT? Maguso, you want to respond?
Yes, I'm here.
Do you want to respond to what Caroline has asked? Or you just
No,
want
no,
to
no,
make
no,
a
no.
submission?
I
Okay,
want to
just
make
chill.
some.
Caroline, are you
Okay.
done?
Oh yeah, I was just asking Mogusu, is there a way that we can
Now we'll ask our
encrypt
IT team.
our
We'll ask our IT team. Mogusu said he's not aware of that. We have guys that are in internet, the ones that were talking about the blockchain. So we'll ask them if there's such a
like,
thing that people can communicate.
like our secret dark web or something like that, where they cannot infiltrate, possibly.
Okay, that's a point. We'll try to ask around. We have many, even in other spaces. Thank you for that. So Mogusi, you'll go. Then Ibrahim. Then most
Yes,
Kenyan,
thank
then
you.
Kenyan. Yeah. It's 3 minutes so
Thank
that
you.
we can capture everybody. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. First of all, I want to talk about, even everybody is aware that this issue, I've been too much tormented about the issue of people killed in Nairobi, whereby I saw this news about this lady was killed and their parents went to city mortuary for seeing the body. I was too much bitter when I saw, I think the sister falling down and fainting. I was really touched. That night I never slept for sure. These people are killing people now, whatever they are producing results are saying that there's no end bullet on these bodies. For sure, they are lying to us. There's something they are doing and they are hiding from us. Second thing, I want to talk about, there's one of our members who talked about this interns, that's GenZ teachers. I'm too much angry about this government. I have too much friends wherever I'm staying. I'm from Nakuru. These people are working for 17,000 salary. One guy is paying rent in town, 5,000, 12,000, meaning this guy is orphan, blah, blah, this guy's family. Every day this guy is on my door. Please assist me 10 shillings, I don't have anything. There's this woman called Nas Masharia. This lady is almost 61 years. This lady should vacate from this office immediately. This lady suspended almost 900 interns. Where is this money going? Every month, every year, we see teacher entering into payroll system of TSC. There's no proper procedure now. They are putting this people on this payroll. For example, you see these politicians are also giving letters. We don't know how this woman is selling these letters to these people. For sure, 100% this only is selling this letter.
Maguso? Oh, wow. I think we lost him. Kenyan, you can go, and then most Kenyan, then Ibrahim. Sharon, you're welcome. Guys, if you're on the speaker request, kindly just be patient. I'm trying like everyone to get at least 2 minutes each. We've been here the whole day. We wish for everyone to
I'm
air
here.
out because today we are demonstrating. Chill out, man. Today we are demonstrating on spaces. So if you're tired, you sleep, the other person is carrying on. So guys, if you're just arriving, I'll give you Wangu if you're feeling you have a pressing issue. But Mugusu, are you done? And if you're
No,
on
no,
the
I'm not.
waiting
I'm
list,
done. One
no,
minute, please.
okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I was talking this issue of TSC, Kenya Teacher Service Commission. This is a fair law commission. Also, if this president is
Okay, what do
serious,
you
he
want?
should check on these people. We have too much people are suffering in terms of interns. They don't have nothing. And even I can tell you reality, I go through most schools which are called these HSS schools. Nothing is going on there. Totally, kids are praying from morning up to evening and come home. Nothing. They are coming here telling us we want to do like this. Like nothing is going on there. Teachers have now decided they will teach according to what they are running. Our education in Kenya is too much totally messed up, and that is all. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. It was Kenyan. Wangu, if you're ready, just pick the mic and then we
Yeah,
save time.
thank you. Thank you for having me. I just wanted to sort of support what most people have said, really, and to say this is the time. We have already gone through what we have gone through as citizens. But I think I agree with most speakers that we need to strategize. And by that, having one thing that we are focusing, okay, we have so many, because our country is really messed up in terms of governance and other things. I think I agree with some speakers who have talked about having that one major thing that we are focusing on as a group, as a major focus point, even though we are fighting these other areas. And I can take us back to the trigger of this movement, if I may. The reason why the movement started was mainly because of the finance bill that united us all to come to oppose the bill. And I think that should sort of extend to now wanting the government to show accountability in terms of being transparent about the public debt. Okay, they went and they borrowed money in our name as citizens, as a country, and they need to show us what did they borrow, when did they borrow it, where has the money gone. And I agree with the person who said we can follow that through the General Audit Office and get the right information and then spread the word. I have seen IMF being called out, the fact that their strategy of just loaning countries money without accountability for it, or rather the way they are going in terms of accountability is very discriminatory and inhumane in the fact that they don't care about the person at the lowest of the pyramid, where the working class are and the poorest of our people are, and they don't care about it. And we are not only, this is what I want us to realize, we are not just fighting the battle that we are fighting in Kenya in terms of economic oppression. It's not just about us, it's worldwide. We just happen to be the pioneers who are saying enough is enough. We need to realize that even in East Africa, the finance bills were passed not long ago, and their citizens did not demonstrate and protest. So, yes, we are who we think we are, and we are not going to stop. And I agree, we need to have a focus point. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Wangu. Thank you very much for your contribution. Kenyan?
Thank you so much for this opportunity. Now,
Sharon,
in
you go after
19,
Kenyan. Sorry, carry on.
yeah, in 1952, Cuba underwent almost the same scenario of what we are going through Kenya right now. General Batista had his regime so constrained with these three big issues. Number one, corruption. Number two, social inequality, social and economic inequality. The third one was the lack of justice. Exactly the same things that are bedeviling our country. And this is the only solution out for our president. He has to kill corruption at all levels. He has to bring social and economic equity among his people. And he has to fight injustice. I think failure to do any of these things will not, will exacerbate our problems. Remember, there's thousands of people in villages and in cities that have faced injustice, not only now during this season, but all the way from 80s, 90s, early 2000s. They have pain. They have lost lands. They have been grabbed by, the big and mighty. And all these people are in this movement. There are people who are facing economic inequality, the GenZs, the millennials. We don't have jobs. I mean, so many of us, if you go back to our villages, there is even no inheritance that we are going to receive from our parents. And therefore, that leaves for us to fight for a better Kenya. Now, in Cuba, after this movement had begun, there emerged one man called Fidel Castro and his friend and his brother Raul Castro and his other friend Che Guevara. I know we have been leaderless for a time, but I believe going forward, a leader is going to emerge amongst us. The only thing that I'm asking us to do is when that leader will emerge. Like now, right here, I can see one of our friends, Keoti Sonko, is hosting us. When that leader will emerge, he will deliver our people to the promised land. In Cuba, they had the July 26th movement. In Kenya, we went to parliament on 25th June. It's going to be the 25th June movement that is going to change our country. And I could be wrong, but I want to suggest one person. I don't know if he will be interested in leading this movement, but I can tell you, if we had, I don't know if you're a friend to him, but I believe if we had Mike Sonko leading this movement, he is not straight, he has his own weaknesses, but I can tell you the only leader relatable with this generation is Mike Sonko. If you are his friend, tell Mike Sonko to come out and start talking about these issues. We have, yes, the Wanjigis, but is really not very relatable with our people. But I know there will emerge a man, a woman, even if it's Casmuel or whoever, and we are going to deliver this country. We are not going to be leaderless, because if we will be leaderless for long, this thing will diffuse. Let us get, I hope one day we'll host a space and discuss at least either one leader or a council of leaders that will take us forward. But if our president will not fight corruption, social inequality and economic inequality, and the injustice that has been committed from all the levels in the villages to the higher levels at in Nairobi, the houses of representatives, then this thing is not going away. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kenyan. Thank you, Kenyan. I'm a bit taken aback, but I value and respect everyone's opinion. And as stated, and as I still state, and that is now my personal opinion, as you've given your own. I'm a co-host. I'm not supposed to be biased, but I would not vouch for anybody that has always had questionable characters. That is my perception. So on your note, I will rest it at that. I appreciate Ndewa is joined in. If you've spoken, you kindly drop. I don't have to drop you. People are really on my neck with joining the speaker panel. Sharon, you've been lifting up your hand for long, and let's respect his opinion. We are actually trying to look for leaders at the moment, but we're not looking for a leader to lead us. We are looking for direction. We need somebody who understands our constitution, somebody who walks in our shoes, somebody who knows our do's and the don'ts in Kenya, somebody who is going to deliver what the people want. Sharon, take the mic.
Okay, hi everybody, and first of all, I want to give my condolences to the mashujaa wenye tumewapoteza, wenye wako kazi. We love them all. So yes, kila mtu ako na their point, and we really respect that. Hapo mambo na Sonko, I don't know about that, but my main point is this: we are looking for a leader, yes, but what strategy are we going to use on how, so that we know on how we are going about this to choose our leaders? And then secondly, I will emphasize on the IDs. In as much we want to call our MPs, we want to do this and that, but I think tunafinywa hapo kwa IDs. So I'm emphasizing on IDs. So if we can have one major goal, hata tukiamua next Tuesday tunaenda maandamano, or even the way we are talking on space, kama tunaweza elewana, we put this major emphasis on IDs. Tujue vile tutapewa ID, tujue when tutapewa ID, kwa sababu tukisukuma at least they will hear us, but tukiendelea kuongea hivi kwa space hawatafanya anything. And then another thing, IBC ikitengenezwa, how are we going to choose somebody from the our movement waende watu represent? If it can be either a woman and a gentleman, waende watu represent huko, because we need eyes all over. Juu hata wakieka IBC na hakuna mtu huko mwenye atatu oversee kenye inaendelea, then tuta lose to the same. So I'm asking, how are we going to go about the IBC issue of at least if we can get one of person from our group to represent us, na hiyo emphasis ya IDs pia. That is a major thing that maybe we should concentrate on that first, on how we are going to get ID, and so that we know how to proceed on the next strategy. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, host. May I just have a contribution on what she has just raised?
That's Wakili.
Yes, Ndegwa.
Kindly go on.
On that issue of the ID, I've been very persistent and consistent that we need to have the machines that produce IDs devolved to our counties to make sure that we expedite the process of the production of IDs and make it accessible to every person who has not acquired the ID. Remember, the ID is one of the biggest arsenals that we have. When all the guns are silent, when all the water cannons are silent, when all the tear gas is silent, we'll be left with an ID at a place called the polling station. Despite the fact that we are 28 million strong, we may lose the war if we are not duly registered. Why? Because it's only those people who are registered who will be able to participate in this revolution. Because the revolution will persist until the day we get the tyrant, until we get the day we get the despot out of that house. Number two, on the criteria of coming up with leaders. Any leader who qualifies or who meets the criteria under Chapter 6 of the Constitution, that is a man or woman whom we are looking for. A person, a lamb without blemish, a person beyond reproach, a person who fits the description of the sister's wife. And I believe there are many of us of that criteria and who can fit that bill. On the question of the IBC, is a very crucial situation. And I want to remind members and the listeners here that the most important aspect is the criteria for selecting the panel that will eventually interview the commissioners. I mentioned previously that we'll have 9 panelists. One of them will come from Azimio Coalition. One of them will come from the KK Coalition. 3 of them will be elected by the Political Party Liaison Committee. Political Party Liaison Committee is a committee that has been constituted by all the registered political parties. The other one will come from, I think the church will have 2, and then the civil service will also have 1. So in total, there will be 9. These panelists are the ones that we must make sure that they are people, they are men, women of integrity, people who cannot be compromised. So as we proceed, because the Gen Zs have not been participating in matters of political party, we may not have an opportunity of selecting, but we may have the opportunity of putting these individuals to a test and to a scale and say that if you do not have this criteria, if you do not meet this criteria, you are not qualified to sit in that particular panel. If the panel is constituted of bad people, people who cannot be trusted, people who cannot be held to account, remember the principle garbage in, garbage out, we'll still find ourselves with an incompetent IBC. Finally, we must have individuals who speak our language in that particular committee panel, so that at the end of the day, our revolution will have representatives in that particular panel. And then those are the issues I wanted to raise. I find them quite fundamental. Number 3, and the last one is that we must keep the fire burning. The revolution must not die. Today we have successfully, as LSK, been able to stay the directives that were issued by these acting IG. We have stayed them, they are no longer effective. So we need now to start going to the next level of our revolution. And the next level of our revolution, perhaps we need to start now redefining ourselves, where we are having perhaps things like projects like sit-ins. If you're not having sit-ins, we should have something like the, the debates in town halls, meetings, so that we keep on synthesizing our people. And then the other thing is that we must insist that the revolution is a non-violence revolution, is a non-violence approach. And we must call out those individuals who are bringing up the violence. Today, the IG confirmed through his presser that he knows the goons, that he has met with the goons, and that the goons are there to disrupt us. You ask yourself, which competent police officer or police force will identify of the incompetence that is this country suffering? I beg to rest my case. Kindly consider on that issue of the ID, consider on that issue of the IBC selection panel, and the idea of pushing an non-violent movement. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Wakili, and it's good to have you. And we actually celebrate on your inputs, you guys. You really stood with us, and we appreciate you.
Thank you.
In a big way.
We are behind you. We will not leave this revolution until we win.
Amen to that. Guys, you heard it, yeah? Let's there's also another lawyer in the house. He's always with us. Kindly say hi to Steve Mbogwa. Kindly say hi to the meeting, and then we can continue.
I want to salute you all and the patriots and those who even turned up today to invade. Some activism sometimes is not necessarily being out there and actively protesting. Sometimes even sharing knowledge and enlightening our parents, our colleagues on the need to respect the rule of law is one of the aspects of being active citizens, because this is our nation and this is our country that we must shape the future how it needs to look like. I want to first start by thanking the High Court. Today was very grateful. They at least they upheld the rule of law by suspending those bans which we saw the acting IG trying to put across to ban protests. Because what I would like the public to know, if such an act is allowed where an inspector of police can wake up in the morning and declare that they have suspended particular sections of the law, which or particular rights which are enshrined in our constitution, it clearly means that these rights are given to you by the government, and therefore the government has a right to take them away as they wish or when they feel they are not able to. The government need to know that the Bill of Rights, it is an inherent rights that we are born with. They are there for us, and they cannot be taken away. They are only written in the constitution as a matter of just entrenchment, but not giving to us. We already have them, because the mere fact that we are human beings and we are citizens of this country, we already have these rights. So, and the other thing I would like to also further mention, and which has been moving around, is the aspect of use of violence in this protest. When the Inspector General of Police came out strongly to say that they understand, I think that is what my senior colleague, Mr. Ndegwa Njiro, was mentioning. He's able to mention that they are able to identify these goons, and they can know they have intel that they are going to cause mayhem and destroy property. And then as a result, they want to instill fear to the public not to protest, and also issue demands to threaten the public, the peaceful protesters, not to protest. Then they are failing on their job, because it is the job of the police as the duty bearers to provide security to those who intend to peacefully protest, and those who intend not to protest, they protect their businesses. So the moment they start mentioning that they have no ability or capacity to take care of your property because people are going to protest and goons are going to take advantage, then it baffles each and every one of us, because we have seen them being deployed to even out of the country to Haiti. And if they knew that we don't have capacity to deal with the thugs who are harassing Kenyans, they should not do that, yet, despite a court order stopping them from doing that. So we have suffered as a country for a very long time when it comes to respect of the rule of law. And I hope and pray that the Inspector General respects the court's directive. And if not, what we have vowed as advocates and lawyers in general is that we are now going to, and the Law Society of Kenya, we are now going to file matters against these people individually, because they like hiding under the bracket of, I am the Inspector General. And every single time you attack, you're attacking the office of Inspector General. But that office has a bearer who is violating these rights and ensuring that they don't even comply with the court order. So we are going to go after them individually for violations of these rights and these orders which they have failed to comply with. Because the moment you lift that veil, everybody needs to know that respect human rights and fundamental freedoms that we are enshrined in our constitution. The good thing is, I like the conversations and the discussion that have been moving around the country, and even through these spaces and also in various platforms, on how the need for good governance. And what has even makes me even more happy as a young person and also as a lawyer is the fact that the clamor that we have seen across the country this time around is not about mtu wetu, mtu wetu atapata nini, mtu wetu atakuwa kwa serikali. It is about, we want a better Kenya for each and every one of us. We want a Kenya where if I get my child in Bungoma, if I have a child in Nyeri, if I have a child in Turkana, they all have equal chances to go to school, equal chances to access health, equal chances for the police to treat them right. Not where your son, you have sent them to the shop and you don't know whether they're going to come back home because someone illegally abducted them and you don't even know how to trace them. They cannot even accord them right to call their parents or call their lawyers. And this aspect of anarchy, which the government machineries have been using to peddle for the last, I think, 4 days, and trying to scare people that if this happen, if you remove, if you say Ruto must go, what next? I think those are naive approach to issues and failure to appreciate the real issue that Kenyans are facing. The constitution, even if Ruto was to die today because of a condition or a death, a natural death, the constitution under Article 146 has provided mechanisms of how governments are managed and how they're supposed to be handed over to the next person. So they should stop peddling this approach that if Kenyans agitate for their rights and a demand for accountable government and demand for stopping police brutality, that is tantamount to anarchy. Anarchy is when a court gives an order in Malindi and says police not to use water cannons and tear gas, and then police officers proceed to use them the following day on citizens. Anarchy is when police use live bullets to shoot innocent peaceful protesters with the claim that they are quelling protest and intimidating Kenyans from agitating for their rights. So if there is any form of lawlessness, it is the government orchestrating it and sending even goons. When the government doesn't provide security to business people who have shops in the city or towns and protect their businesses, that is the aspect of anarchy. But anarchy is not when citizens exercises their right under the Constitution to demand for an accountable government, to demand for people who are misusing public funds to be held accountable, to demand for a government that is geared towards respect to human rights and fundamental freedoms. Those are not reasons to declare citizens as perpetrators of anarchy. And it is so worrying when the political class has been so much ganging up to try and fight even journalists who are supposed to be really, providing this information to us and sharing information to the whole world to know what is happening in this country. Then they're using excessive force even to journalists. Apart from citizens, they're even going to journalists. They are now, I saw that they have also orchestrated some approach across the social media, attacking some media houses. These are just propagandas and fear. And I think Napoleon has one time mentioned that government have for a long time thrive in fear and propaganda. That's how most of government entities have thrived, that they sell fear to you, they sell propaganda, and they manage things. They told us that someone has confessed they have killed 42 people. The next day we are seeing the same person in court through their lawyers, indicating that the said confession was obtained by way of use of force and violence on them. So we need to be honest as a country, and we need to continue being vigilant and to be active, not just on this issue, but to be active in all aspects of governance. We are headed to the process of selecting commission, and the people are going to be nominated in the election panel from various institutions. Even the LSK is going to send one of our representatives to sit in that particular committee, and various institutions are going to do the same thing. And I want to echo the words of my senior colleague, Mr. Ndegwa, that these persons, we need to have people who have the best interest of the country at heart. We have to have people who are going to get us the best commissioners who are going to run this election in a best way possible, because it is our business as citizens and active members of this country to be able to manage our affairs in a manner that is going to protect not only our present, but even our future. Because those who are in government right now, if you look at how they came into government, most of them joined when they were young. Probably they never had the best interest of our parents that time. They never bothered about the interest of our seniors who were living at that time, and they have only orchestrated selfish political agendas to try and misuse public funds. And you look at what even Nani Maura, the spokesperson of the government, yesterday was giving a statement, yesterday or today, saying that the government has lost 6 billion for the last 1 month because of protest. I remember we have been told before that government loses 2 billion every day on corruption every day. So I think if the protest only costed 6 billion for 1 month, that if comparing to how much money we have been losing through the aspect of corruption, that is comparing day and night. And I think the government need to get serious when it comes to issues of governance, and we need to stop na sisi kama Wakenya, because sisi kama young people especially, I want to say that we have a duty to educate our parents. When our parents wake up in the morning and they see that a child in Kajiado was shot because of protesting against government excesses, some of them get scared and they remind you not to protest, not to raise this issue, keep quiet, stop being vigilant. But we can't just keep quiet like they did, and we don't raise questions, we don't go to court, we don't hold them accountable, and we allow this issue to continue, and we hand over them to the next regime, and our children come and take over. We have to ensure and to remember that the price of revolution is eternal vigilance. If we don't remain vigilant in everything that we are doing, in every sectors, in every corporations that we're supposed to be providing services to us, even at the county government level, at the CDF level, the management of our public resources by the members of parliament and the NGCDF committees, if we don't hold these people at all these levels accountable, then we may not realize the kind of country we all desire to live. And that's why you find most of us, you look at other countries and developed democracies, and we want to run there because we are saying the education system is working. I want to run to Finland, I want to go to Europe, I want to go to Asia, I want to go to America because I find their healthcare is working. I want to go there to India because their hospitals have better treatment care than our hospitals. People should not be running away from their country to go and seek services elsewhere. Yet, every single year, every single day, every single minute, we are being taxed heavily as Kenyans and as citizens. So the conversation should go on. The conversation should not stop with us, the protest. The conversation should be continue even in your local barazas, in those chiefs barazas, educating our people, talking to them about holding our leaders accountable, asking questions where we need to, participating in governance. If you have not applied for an ID, if you have just finished high school, you apply for one. If you have not applied for a registration a voter card, you apply for one, because all these issues, at the end of it all, even us as young people, we're not pushing for them, and even as lawyers, we're not pushing for them, and then we use illegal means to also manage their affairs. We want to participate and respect the rule of law in all ways. That if there are people we need to recall, you need to remember that even if you recall them, an election will be called to replace them. And that election needs people to turn up and vote. So if you have not registered yourself as a voter and don't turn up to vote, or don't educate the fellow colleagues and fellow people, Kenyans, on how to vote rightfully, we may not realize the best leaders. We may have the same people and recycle the same characters in government. So it is our business. It is a business of each and every one of us to remain vigilant, and the vigilance to demand for a better Kenya and an accountable one. And as the Law Society of Kenya, and as advocates and members of this society and members of this country, we have to push forward, and we are going to push for the respect of the rule of law. And we are happy that each and every Kenyan is appreciating every single provision of the Constitution, because this Katiba, if you look at it after 2010, when it was being brought on board in 2010, August, the whole world was very happy with us. Everybody was happy. South Africans we were being compared with to be better than even South Africa. People were claiming that Kenya is headed in the right direction. So everybody was seeing it. And that's why, if you can remember the promulgation of the Constitution, almost the whole world was here to witness this serious change that Kenya and East African state is taking this route. But 14 years down the line, now the life in the Constitution is being taken away. Violations, people have been living in the old Constitution dispensation. It's time we breathe in the life to this Constitution, so that everybody knows that it is our document and we give it to ourselves. And therefore, when it provides an Article 43 that each and every one of us has a right to socio-economic rights, a right to healthcare, a right to education, rights to all those development that we desire, political rights that we have, rights to participate in protests peacefully, rights to hold the government accountable, rights to hold our leaders accountable, then these rights must be respected, upheld. And when we hold these leaders accountable, we should not be intimidated and fear sold to us. France, we have witnessed what they are doing, and nobody is fighting them. We saw what happened in the UK. People can raise concerns and raise issues against the government that they don't feel they're comfortable with. And leaders, I think for 2 years, UK dropped 3 prime ministers, and the government is still in place and running, because people have been educated more. Civic education is been raised to a high level. So it's our business as revolutionaries and people who demand for a better Kenya to educate each and every one of us, and those who don't have the benefit of joining these spaces, to let them understand what are we demanding for, what are the issues that we are holding our leaders accountable for, so that it doesn't just become a brand of hiyo ni maandamano ya kawaida. People now realize that these are issues and appreciate them, because we have done a lot, and Kenyans have achieved so much in the last 1 month that most of our forefathers who died many years, if they were to wake up today, they'll even be shocked. So let's keep the vigilance and we move forward. In case of any legal issues, we have always requested members of the public to feel free to reach out to the lawyer who is closest to you, or you can always call the LSK for assistance. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was very broad, and you covered almost all areas. We appreciate your presence, you and Wakili Ndegwa. We appreciate you for your input and your contribution both in the courts, both in the walls, in our platforms, in our town halls. We really appreciate you, Wakili. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And I can also recognize, I see the presence of some of my council members. Wavinya is also present.
Thank you.
If they're on the speaker panel, we could have actually let them in. I can't see some of them, but I only saw the two of you, and I had
Yeah,
to
yes.
drop some people to add you back.
Oh, thank you for that honor and privilege. Today I tweeted and I said, because government is trying to perpetuate a Twitter handle that Ruto listens. So today I tweeted and said, yes, if Ruto listens, let him listen to the Kenyans and resign. I think we need to promote that and tweet it in that aspect, so that then we are saying, okay, if you are really listening, then resign. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can you put it on the comment section so that the people that are on this space can retweet it right